Main Morning Show. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. Sitting at home when you're in your car. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. No matter if you get far. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. You better tune in quick or you might just miss. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. The best show this side of the sea. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. 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 If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know, get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know.
Dalton. Watch the challenges,
Y'all are black. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves.
the triumphs, and the leadership that emerged in the face of adversity. And one of the stars who rose from that fight is Kiana Belcher. Now, she's ready to take that dedication and bring it to you as your next 5th District Cook County Commissioner.
On March 17th, I'm asking for your support to vote for Kiana Belcher for your 5th District Cook County Commissioner.
The world has watched the journey of Dalton. Watch the challenges.
Y'all are black.
I
Y'all
am
should be ashamed
Pam
of
Ghostin,
yourselves.
owner and creator of Candle Desserts Lounge, Mississippi's finest dessert and drink candles that are hand poured right here in DeSoto County. Our motto is dessert and drinks, 0 calories. We strive to create a vivid imagination of the delicious gourmet desserts and tropical drinks by offering a sweet and zesty vibe with an experience that ignites both your taste buds and sense of creativity. We also do candle making parties, whether it's for a private party, birthdays, anniversary, bachelor or bachelorette parties, business team building. We can do a party for any occasion. For more information, call 662-460-5035. Also, check out our website at candledessertlounge.bigcartel.com. If you're looking for those one-of-a-kind gifts, our candles are perfect for you.
Tune in to the Mac Man Morning Show. Hold up. Man, this is one of the hottest talk radio shows this side of the Mississippi. We're talking about the Mac Man Morning Show, Mondays through Friday from 9 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. Man, get you some on WKRA 92.7 FM. Man, beat me there. Don't meet me there.
There I am. The Mac Man Morning Show, of course, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, 10 a.m. on the East Coast. We started a little late this morning. I had some stuff to do and so forth, but I'm glad that you all are here. Thank you for each and every one of you that have listened and have supported us. Over these past 2 years, we're doing what we do, and we got to keep pushing. You saw a little new uh, tag that we have, and we're working out the dynamics. Like to say good morning, Grand Rising, to all of you all, to Sharon Reed and to uh, Apostle Anthony Reed, Deacon Alvin Moore. Good morning to you all, to Diane Black, and to all of you, Candle Dessert Lounge, everybody that's here. We want to just say Grand Rising, good day to all of you, all of our listeners everywhere, including our listeners on our brand new uh, network. I've been saying brand new. They're brand new. They haven't been brand new, but I'm back. I guess reunited, back with Hot Talk Radio and Television Broadcasting International. Their stations in the 50 states and also outside of the United States. We'd like to say good morning to all of you around the world and wherever you are on today. Grand Rising to you. I'd like to say good morning and Grand Rising to you. We have a couple of things that we want to talk about, and it just, I don't know, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on things, but there are still a lot of ice and a lot of dangerous situations around about us uh, in uh, southern region, especially here in Mississippi, Tennessee, Arkansas, and other places that have. Wait a minute, let me make sure if I got this on here. That are still affected by the weather, and as a lot of places have gotten hit pretty hard, and they're still recovering, and we're still praying for all of you all, wherever you may be. Uh, there are a lot of things that have, with the melting of the snow and the conditions that we do have, we wait a minute. Here it is. We're really rooting for our first responders and those that are out and about doing what they have to do to try to make sure that uh, that we are safe each and every day. And it's not an easy thing. It's still ice outside. There's still some streets and some places uh, that are extremely slick and dangerous. And we're asking you to take all preparations and all cautions that you can. Like I say, good morning to everybody in Clarksdale, Oklahoma County. Also, everybody down in Batesville and in the southern parts of uh, the Delta and in those areas. They're working as feverishly as they can and as serious as possible to try to make sure that the streets are clear. I know that most schools are still closed. There are some roads that buses can't get down, and it wouldn't make any kind of sense to continue to uh, try to attempt to go get children, especially when it's slippery in the sight. You don't want anybody in any danger. And we want to thank all of the school districts and all of the people that are working various places, our hospitals, and like I said, our fire and our police departments, people that are out working real hard to get the situation back at hand, that we can move around and about. There is another weather front that's going to be coming in, and it's going to bring some ridiculously cold air. It was kind of chilly on tonight, but right now we're in our region. It's about 34 degrees. Right now it's 9:23. Brother Lee should be with us in a little bit, if all is possible. And it's today is uh, just another day. It's another day that we have and we will not see again. And we're just grateful. Thank you, all of you all that have reached out and that have given us an opportunity to, and was checking on us here and everything. And it's been a pretty eventful week. But then again, like I said, we're going to continue to do that we do. I want to thank you all for your comments about uh, our show. And we were talking about uh, cleansing and cleansing. Hey, Diane, good morning to all of you all that are here. And I'm going to try to do that fast. Brother Lee was recommending that we do. And I think it'll be a great opportunity to try to do something. I ain't as heavy as I was before, but then, as you get a little bit older and you get a little bit, you might not be as active as you used to. And then, sometimes you be riding and you did this and that, and we kind of forget a little bit. But I think that health and nutrition is really, really the thing that we really need to start thinking about. Well, let me say this real quick, if I can. Um, I had a conversation last night or earlier this morning, and you never know where your wisdom comes from. And I want to say to our audience that for when Mac Media was created and the MacMan Morning Show, and like I said, it was the morning takeover when we first started out, not knowing how far or what I was getting ready, how long I was going to be doing what I've been doing. But I'm grateful for the opportunity. And when I started out, my whole purpose was to make sure that we got information and then to inspire the people that are listening each and every day on the air. Good morning, Penelope. No, we hadn't changed. I started our broadcast a little bit late, and forgive me to everybody. But we're gonna be on track. Um, Politics is a strange bedfellow. Not just what we hear on television and sometimes we see around us, but it is strange in the sense that there's so much going on. And I know that I support people, and there are people that I do know, and I support everybody that I can. And a little wisdom was dropped to me. And if you can't accept constructive criticism, something that's going to help you, and somebody's telling you that there's a hole in the middle of the road, and be careful, you might fall in the hole. And you might turn your head and be doing other things. And just before you enter that danger zone, you take a look and you see that's what happened to me. I understood the gravity, not the gravity. I understood the weight of our program because not a lot of people talk about current events or the situations that are going on in their community. A lot of times people are quiet and they just want to get along and everything. And sometimes you can ruffle some feathers. And I just feel like this. We're living in a day and time where we really need people that are going to represent us properly without all of the games and the things that people do. And sometimes you can be so close to a situation where it becomes harmful. and not in the physical way, but just harmful. Your reputation, uh, things can go awry. People can take things out of context, and I found that doing what I do. And my whole purpose for being here is to serve and to broadcast and to hopefully give a perspective where our audience and the people around us can understand what's going on. We live in this polarizing situation in the United States. We have a government that is not uh, listening to us, that are not listening to uh, the needs of the people, and then you find that you uncover some things, and your intentions may be well, and you set out to do things that are well. I have had many things in the course of being the host of this show that disappointed me, and different things. You get an opportunity, and it's been really rewarding also to do what we do. And I asked myself a question. I just want to talk to y'all for just a little bit. I asked myself the question. I said, stuff falls apart. One, poor planning. Two, uh, thinking that or trusting the abilities of others to help. And just plain, oh, you almost at that edge, and you got to be careful, because everybody does not mean well. Now, I'm not saying that towards anybody or anything like that, but you just got to be careful. We live in a society, a cutthroat society. And I realize that sometimes, there are people that just don't want to they don't want you to bother anything. And especially when you're talking about politics. Now, there are a lot of things going on around our country, and there are a lot of political things that are happening with the situations that we are up under federally. And people are moving, they're mobilizing, they're trying to get together to try to get the best people that they can to replace the people that are there. Something is definitely wrong, as you may well know, in our country. Um, we got a lot of things going on from Minnesota to Chicago, from everywhere. We got unrest, and people are being unalived by government officials, and the people that you depend on to keep us safe, or believe that they will keep us safe. Uh, we find ourselves wondering, wow, man, is this really happening? And also, even in business, we ask ourselves that same question sometimes. And I say to myself, well, how will we as a community fit into this new economy? We already have, as you all may know, they have this superconductor, whatever this AI building that they're building all over the country. They're building these places all over the country. And several thousand positions are being lost from UPS, Amazon, and different other places that are hiring workers to do customer service and to do various duties. AI has replaced them, and there's no need for that manual labor in certain places. People are on edge because we don't know how our economy is going to shape because of the governmental interference and a whole lot of things that causes the monetary markets to go up and down. And businesses are nervous because they don't know what move is going to be made. Are we having an invasion, or are they going to have martial law? And then it's extra anxiety for some of us, because for some, and I say some of us, I include myself in there too, because it's kind of difficult to navigate. I'm not, and to try to find out what's going to happen. And I'm not a genie. I'm not a swami. I'm not a prophet. I don't know these things. I don't know what's going to happen. But from my observation, from what I see, I truly still believe that this is the best opportunity for the Black community to be able to come together again, to come together like we supposed to. But ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, there are people out there that will literally almost destroy you. There's a it's cutthroat type of mentalities that people have. Whether it or my uncle used to say, the crabs in the barrel. Everybody trying to pull each other down instead of boosting each other up. Several times we always talk about other communities, and rightfully so in a sense. But one thing I can say, that most communities, even the Hispanic communities and others from other countries and from other nationalities, stick together except Black people. It's something about our folks. I don't know what it is or what it, I mean, we got relatives and we got people, ancestors and people and descendants and people that are from other countries. You might be from Haiti or from other places, Angola or Nigeria or something. I'm talking about people that look like us, or from various parts, even from Europe. There are some people from Europe and various places that have an impression of Black America or Black people in America. They have a kind of already made up in their mind the type of people that we are. I've heard many times people have said that Black people are lazy and we're trifling and we're this and we're that. That we're the persons that cause all the trouble, and we're the people that are sucking up all of the resources. We're the people that are that have to be taken care of. We're the people that need the Section 8. We're the people that need the food stamps. We're the people that need all of the safety nets that we weren't afforded to. All of a sudden, becoming a recipient has become a curse. They feel that you should not have help, or that we should not have the assistance or the things that we are entitled to as citizens in this country. Some people really do feel that we don't deserve to have them. And I wonder how that makes you feel sometimes, but I can tell you how it makes me feel. It makes me, it wounds you in one sense, and then it puts you on another playing field, and it puts you on another way of thinking. It sure has for me. And like I said earlier and coming on, I said it and I'll say it again, that when you reach out and you try to help, or your intentions are good, and people will take your good intentions and make bad out of them. Nobody that has ever been on this show, nobody ever been affiliated here, know that I have never, and I'll say it again, I have never try to destroy anybody, or I have my picks. I take the information that I have, and even in reporting things, I take the information that I have. My choice for me is for me. You have to make up your own mind about different people, but hopefully with the information that is brought, and hopefully if by them coming and being a part of the platform, and just say and state what are the intentions of the persons that come on, whether it's in business, whether it's politics, whether it's social events, or whatever the case may be. Can we stand together and support each other? We so quick that we'll listen and hear what, and it's the same thing that goes on each and every day. Can I talk to you just for a couple of seconds? If not, you can turn it off or whatever the case may be, because I'm going to say what I want to say. We all are trying to make it. And I found out, and it's everywhere, I found out when I first started broadcasting, and like to say good morning to everybody in Illinois, all of you all that are in Dalton, in the Chicago area, everybody, Mika Light over there in WRFU and Champaign and different places. We find out that I was started to broadcast, and it was about the Dalton situation. I came on a platform, so forth and so on, which paved the way to give us an opportunity to broadcast each and every day. Grateful for WKRA, and I'm grateful for all of our listeners and everybody that listens, because just like sometimes like the weather, people are just like the weather. Some days it's sunny and it's nice. Some days it might be cold. And the same day it might be. People are fair weather friends and fair weather people. But I made a vow that when I came on the air, that I would use the talents that God has given to me and whatever abilities that He has blessed me with to help somebody else. Ain't made dollar one. I've been say and have a bit, and it's a business. But I find out sometimes that people, and I've been criticized for it many times. A lot of people don't have what most stations and what most people would require. It's very expensive, and we find ourselves not being able to get our messages out or get our advertising out like we want to. And that's why we should come together. And we, all of us, we got talents. A lot of people got talents. And like I said before, people got podcasts and all these other, they bloggers and this and that. I'm not a blogger. I'm not a podcaster. You can call it what you want. I'm a broadcaster. I am a reporter. I do report on the news and current events. And because of that, and in my commentary, as far as talking on a subject, which I can and which you can too, it gives us an opportunity to take a 360-degree angle of what's really going on and what's really happening. Good morning to you, Ms. Sharon. How are you? I just talked about you and Deacon Alvin Moore and Brother Anthony, Apostle Anthony Reed. Thank you for coming here. And for the last 2 years, that has been my goal, and it is my goal to continue. Oh, sometimes you got to have a come to Jesus moment, as they say. Well, I'm sure coming to him. You better believe me, you. Because if I took the adversities, if I took the things and the situations and the deceitful cutthroatness of folks, and if I took it seriously, there'd be a lot of cussing and a lot of things going on. I know I lost it sometimes, and sometimes you get upset about some things, but then you got to look at it, and it is a business. It's not personal. It's a business. It's supposed to be a business. It's not personal. And sometimes, have I stuck my neck out on the line to help people? You better believe I have. Have I almost got my neck chopped off? Partly, yeah, because I moved it out of the way. And I tried my best, and I said, okay, if you fall down, you get back up, dust yourself off, and let's go again. Mag Media 3 Productions has been created and was created. God gave it to me, and it's going to continue until He says so. Now, for those that are out there that may not understand or realize and see, people can go around and they can drag your name through the mud. You know why? Sometimes you might be hitting some places where you're talking about some things that they don't quite want to hear you talk about. Let's talk about the races that are coming up. I've been involved in politics for a long time, whether it's volunteering, whether it's being a part of a team. I've always have been. And I've always been concerned about what goes on in my community. Now, I'm not that type of person I'm not going to protest too much. I might report on it and give the facts and everything. Everybody got a place. Okay. So when you see things that are going on and how important it is for us in this election cycle, these past election cycles, and have endorsed and supported people. Have I had my head cut off? I had it chopped off the other night. And sometimes you got to really check yourself and really realize what's going on. People could play you. Have I been played? Yes, been played like a fiddle, like a piano or organ or what piano? You know, I ain't supposed to say piano, but a piano, whatever, a guitar or whatever, people will play you. They'll play on your sympathies. They know that you're doing they know that your heart is right. They'll play on you. They'll play on you, say, oh, well, such and so and such and so. And then it'd be a total different thing when you really realize what's happening. The damage has been done, and you're left to uh, pick up the pieces if they're left, to glue them back together if you can, and to put some new boards up or whatever the case may be. You try to salvage what's happening. I'm not going there. I set the standards for this broadcast, and I just have to redo them. There's some times and there's some things, and you don't have to be nasty to people, or you don't have to dog anybody or talk about anybody. Just sometimes you just need to just move, to step to the side. And okay, that's fine. I wish no bad on anybody. I don't wish I wish that everybody prosper, because we got to get along here in this life. And if we continue with the things that are going on in the deceit and the cutthroatness that's going on, that's on them. It's not on me. I want, at the end of the day, when I come off of the air, I want to make sure that I have done what I set out to do, and that it has been effective. It's not a lot of voices out there for us, folks. And just so happened that when you become the person, you become the one that has to do certain things. It takes that with the sacrifice. You got to take the good with the bad. There are people, have they lied? Sure they have. Have they said things? Sure they have. I mean, they have. I guess I'm Romeo or somebody or something like that. And I try my best to be as professional as possible in doing what I do, trying to help my community, and going to continue to do it. It's not going, but there's a new direction that has to be taken. And like I was talking to someone the other night, that really let me have it, in a sense. So you're a damn fool. I'm sorry, Diane, y'all. I said, what are you talking about? He said, man, you're a fool. He said, man, people will take it, and they'll take you as far as you let them take you, and they'll drag you until they can't drag you anymore. And I was wondering to myself, I said to myself, why are the opportunities, or why things that happen even in business are happening like it's a whammy or something, as people would say? Somebody got the whammy on you, or whatever the case. I don't believe in that. God got me. I'm not worried about that. But there are people that are out there that will do that, and then they'll make you look like you're you're just all out. You're the devil for real or something. And I found out in our community, and I realized this in the time that I have lived this life, I understand, and I realize that everybody is not your friend. And I try my best. I think that's one of my my faults. I just believe in folks. I believe in people, and I try my best to say, well, hey, these people are decent, not knowing that sometimes you might be with the devil. Now, I'm going to stand on whatever I say, my endorsement, the way I feel, what I'm going to say. I got to stand on it. I have to accept that I do. I've made some people hot, as they say, with the way that I believe. I'm not asking you to believe anything that I believe. And when the facts come and they're before you, I try to give a person an opportunity to explain the facts. I'm talking about politics again. If the evidence is showing that this is what's going on, why would I want to support somebody that supports this orange man that lives in the house that's white? Why would I? Out of all that we're going through right now, and we have not felt it yet because we might be going into a government shutdown anyway. Back and forth, used as pawns. A lot of times the politicians use us for pawns. And I asked the person I was talking to, I said, well, when are we really going to take care of each other? When is the South, especially down around Mississippi and everywhere, when is it really going to be, we really going to make, when are we going to cease to be the last in everything? When are we going to cease to be the most recipient of welfare? When are we going to be the type of when are we going to get to a place as a community of people that have been neglected for so long will ever get a break? I'm talking about Mississippi. Greetings to everybody everywhere. So I try to bridge that gap. I said, I see what's going on from the Democratic convention. When we were invited, very big, auspicious occasion, went to represent the home state and to represent the people there, and was slighted. Or how they say, they show some, they dish you. They right there. I couldn't even get an interview with the delegation. And then you mad with me when I get on the radio, on the television, and say various things to try to encourage our people to be progressive in what they're doing. Now I'm your enemy because why? I won't play your stuff. I've invited folks to come on to explain themselves about certain things that are going on, and they look at you like you're the devil or something is wrong. It's a game that people play. They're playing games with the people in the state of Mississippi. One person say vote for one person, and we all vote for him. Do your research, as the person told me on the other day, on the other night, said, do your research. I did it. I made my choice. And then sometimes the choices that you may make may not be the most popular. You may be wishful thinking that, and I'm glad that so far the people that we have supported have gone on to do great and wonderful things in their various offices. Have some come back and say thank you? No. Some have, some haven't, some gone on about their business. People will know that, see, one thing that they know about this show, on this hour and 20 minutes that we slate each and every day. And they said that's kind of, hour and 20 minutes we use, and then we might go over, might start a little bit, it depends. But we're going to get it together. Within this time, they know that people are listening, because if people weren't listening, I wouldn't be getting the feedback that I get. Not bad, I get great feedback, but then you get some that the ruffled feathers are ruffled. They got that game going on. It's a game, people. They're gaming us. They are gaming us. Both parties gaming us. Gaming us. I'll get him to put us out there and hoo-doo-doo, and he gonna talk and people are gonna listen. And I sometimes fall for the bait. Work hard. Believe in because I believe in what I believe in. As a business, not private. Most businesses don't, that I know of, it takes a few years to really even show any kind of profit or anything like that. And I was working bare bone naked. Not physically, but just bare bones. Trying to make sure that things come out using the gift that God gave to me and his own thing. Not the only thing that he gave me, but the gift that he gave me, and project it out there so what we can help somebody right here where I stand, right where I look around. People that I know and I care about have turned out, they've turned. And I said, wait a minute, now I know you're the same person that I know before. I haven't said anything. No, but you talked about my friend and you talked about my congressman. I will tell you this, 32 years in the Congress for anybody, and the results are like we still are. I think we need to reevaluate some things. Am I mad? No. Am I trying to take some money out of somebody's pocket? Oh, of course not. I don't have that kind of juice. But hopefully, if we're looking at it, what have we gotten? What have we gotten that is so great that we turn our back on the less fortunate? Right now in the Delta and in where Black people are living are the places where they got to go and dig out. Not all of them. They're good people, white and Black, everywhere in the state of Mississippi that are giving food and are giving aid and giving refuge to people, taking people into their homes and everything. But there's another side. That's a dark side. There's a dark side. Poor people, poor slums, areas of wherever, poor people, homeless. The less fortunate is big money to other people. If we can keep you on the ground, if we can keep you broke, if we can keep you in the same mindset, you'll do exactly what we ask you to do.
And I say, hell no, I ain't doing it. I want to know what's going on in Congress, in the State House, in the City Hall. I want to know that if the streets are bad or if there's something, a policy that's coming out, is it going to be good for our community? And then talk and discuss about it. Is there somebody in business that just needs a hand up sometime or just need to get out there? Okay, here I am. I might not make anything. Nobody will ever say that I made anything, and I've gotten heat for it, personally and in business. Losing things and losing, literally. Something on the inside. Say, keep fighting. When the day I didn't, and I'm going to be honest with you, I got to be honest with the audience. This is a little commentary. We talk about them orange fellas and them other folks a little bit later or whatever the case may be. But I didn't want to come on this morning. I did not want to come on this morning. I got to a point where tears were in my eyes and I say, is it worth it? With all of the garbage and all of the bull that goes on and people saying this and they're saying, now you're saying things, you reap the benefits, now everybody's saying something. You help folks, not all, and I'm not talking to any, if the shoe don't fit, don't worry about it. I know who I'm talking to. That'll try to destroy your name. That'll sit there and eat dinner with you. Sit there and shake your hand, call you brother. And all along turning around for their own benefits, knowing that they hate your guts. I'm going to talk about it. Forgive me, Diane. I got to say it. You know why I know the fix was in? And the fix was in the last election? Let me talk about the folks I vote for. They knew that Diane Black had 96,000 votes. The last national election, count them for yourself. Nobody from an opposing party has ever got that many votes and got more votes in the region and in the congressional district than Kamala Harris. I'm going to get to her in a minute. They say, oh no, we can't control Diane. Diane ain't going to do what we tell her to do. Diane has got spirit in her, and she's got her own mind to think and everything. We can't put no strings on her and make her dance like we want to. So we're gonna do such and so. She came within 200 votes of winning one of those seats that the others have won. You say what you want to say. Check out who we done sent back. I'm grateful for Mr. Crosby going to Jackson. Sincere man. Senator Jackson, who fought to hold on to a seat. They even got Miss Isom. I got some differences, but I don't hate nobody. I didn't pour no salt on nobody. This woman got 96,000, and here we are. In the midst of getting the midterms together, knowing that we got an opportunity in the state of Mississippi to take any seat that we want. And here come the devil within. I'm laying it on the line. I'm so glad you're here, Brother Lee. Don't go nowhere. I want you to stay right here. I'm gonna do just what I'm gonna do. Just stay there. I need you to just stay there. Not for validation. Just stay there for a minute. I ain't forgot you. And I refused many times to diss and to talk about or use this broadcast to hurt folks. Because when you look around, we all are hurting. So I'm going to hurt some old folks. If you got a couple thousand over here, I'm going to give you some money over here, and you shut your mouth over here, and you do this, and you do this, and you do this. And they take advantage of that. And then you be looking like an ass. Oh, I've looked like an ass many times. I look like an ass. I had somebody come to me and say, Mr. Mack, we want you to do X, Y, Z and turn around in the same week and cancel. I have people I've done work and pro bono, or it wasn't pro bono, knowing and taking somebody's word. taking somebody's word, and end up with garbage on my face. Or if we get on there, we know I know people are listening. That counter that you're looking at and those numbers that you're looking at is a bunch of garbage. And they do it to everybody. When you're doing what's right, they're going to do everything they can to make sure that you're not popular. I know Hot Talk Radio TV wasn't ready for this one. I know y'all, I know they're around the world in different countries say, man, there's some stuff going on in America. Yeah, there's some stuff going on here. Because we are on demise. I'm talking about the black community. We sit back, bow and scoot and hold our heads down, and these people are knocking us down, taking us out of here. Don't talk about my friend. Don't talk about this. They good people. Being a good person and getting results is a total different ball game. Each and every weekday morning, and even if I wasn't here doing something else or trying to improve and doing something to make sure that things get out. There ain't no real news, people, unless you got independent media right about now. You can't go to the networks and thinking that you're getting accurate and concise news and information. Not these days. It's not happening. It's independent media. And I'm not talking about these crazy people on here telling you to do this and to do that, but to really take things and open up and really have a common sense. And I know we ain't usually, but have a real sensible conversation about it and to be enlightened about it. And it always takes somebody to throw a curb in it. Not here. I'm not giving up. I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to keep doing it to the last breath. I guess I'm going to say what I need to say. It took a whole week. You're right, Diane. I remember. They was lying, hooking. It took in the 1st Congressional District. I ain't talking about you, Benny. And I ain't talking about you folks down there in the Delta. Okay, I'll get to you in a couple of seconds. I'm talking about with the other folks up in the different parts. Hey, Brother Jeff. Hey, y'all, how you doing? 96,000 votes. It took them 2 weeks to call this lady's election. They instantly called Donald Trump's that race, the presidential race. They called it that night. That shocked me. The fix is in, folks. The fix was in a long time ago. And if the resources was there, Democratic Party, if the reason, the money that you got, I found out a whole lot of information that I ain't got to share, but I know that some of y'all down there is some shysters. Y'all fighting each other. The Senate race. We're talking about the Senate race. Over 200 votes. Oh, she's 200 votes short. But everybody else got in. Look who you sending. I'm talking about you, Brother Cross, because you really, I really believe in my heart that you and Brother Jackson and I don't know, I can't speak about Miss Isom. I don't know where her thoughts are, her politics are. I'm not saying she's a bad lady or anything like that, but there are people that I know that I have supported that have turned their back, run their commercials for them. I got the heat for it. Ain't made $1. They'll go on to win and they'll shut the door. There's one person in particular. Did everything that I could. I'm not crying. I'm just saying I see the jig is up. And it's a brand new Mac man now. I'm going to be who I am, but you ain't seen nothing yet. And because of this, things have to be torn down. Not torn down, just reshuffled. Things got to be rebuilt again. In a sense of that, in that area. So I know what to do and what. I don't care if nobody never liked me. It ain't about being liked. Okay? I'm not the policy maker. I'm not the person down there taking no votes. I'm not here lying to folks, vote for me and everything's going to be all right. 32 doggone years. And we still worse off than we were. I see it. I see it. And the little bit that we do have, ladies and gentlemen, we got shysters sitting back getting rich like fat cats in the cheese factory, as they say. Sitting back taking advantage, knowing that they can help folks and won't help. The personalities, the ugly ignorance and the ugliness that they do, and then they try to come after somebody. You got the right one. You got the right one. This is the Mac Man Morning Show. I'm going to be back in a minute. I'm going to push because I'm about to say something that I know that I shouldn't even be saying. We'll be back in a couple seconds. Let's go say hello to our folks.
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know. Get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know. Tune in to the Mac Man Morning Show. Hold up. Man, this is one of the hottest talk radio shows this side of the Mississippi. We're talking about the Mac Man Morning Show. Mondays through Friday from 9 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. Man, get you some on WKRA 92.7 FM. Man, beat me there. Don't meet me there.
I always pay homage to where we came from, and we like to thank all of our listeners at WKRA, those that have come over. I know that some of you all are working and y'all can't get in the chat, but I do hear from you, and I want to thank you. I'd like to say hello to everyone from our network, from our radio and television network, the Hot Talk Radio and Television Broadcasting Network International. Right here in the 50 states and in many countries around the world. We'd like to welcome all of you right now. It is 10:07, 7 minutes after the hour of 10 in the a.m. Central Standard Time in the United States of America. Good morning, grand rising to each and every one of you that's here. I got Brother Lee Mack is here with us, but I wanted to just say thank you to several people. Thank you, Ms. Wiedemann, for saying hello and good morning. And to all of you all that are in the Southland up there. And good morning to Judge Hammer. These are folks, y'all. That's they right here. I wanted to say good morning to all of you. I got Brother Lee Mack here. And you can say, hey, Brother Lee, I know you're here. I see you. You can unmute your mic right there. I think you can if you can. We're here.
Great day and new beginnings.
And new beginning. Great day and new beginnings. Brother Lee, I got on fussing this morning. And I sometimes, you know, you can get hit with a Mack truck almost. Wait 1 second, if you can give me a chance to you can get hit with a Mack truck, and I'm not crying and weeping or nothing, but I've had an epiphany, as they say. Things, I don't know. You know, we've been on the air for 2 years, and We try to make sure that we have balanced broadcasting, and we try to help folks. I know I do. And to my mistake, I found out that you can't help folks like you used to. I'm not going to stop helping folks. I'm just going to do it in a different way. And being in the public and being personalities of any kind, if you're out there, and I've been in the public since I was 12 years old, and being in the public, you have to really, really, really navigate. And I never forget the lessons that were taught to me. And I found myself caring, as they say. I'm gonna keep caring. I got it in my heart. I love God. I love my folks. That doesn't have anything to do. I try to be decent. And when you get attacked and people come at you, people use you, and then they'll use you, and then they slap you in the face and all these other things business wise, and hurt your reputation and everything. And I've always and going to stand for that. That's right. And we talk about politics, we talk about the orange man, we talk some things, and then we talk about so many things. And it's not an easy thing to do. A lot of people think it's easy. You go buy you some equipment and stick a microphone in your face, and they swear they broadcast. And it's a lot more entail to it than what people know. And I mean, and like I said, I don't know if you heard me earlier, Brother Lee. I had a phone call, dear friend, and if you can't accept constructive criticism, as I said, something is wrong, you got to accept it. And they say, you a damn fool. I ain't gonna say who said it, but that's what they told me. I said, man, what you say? He said, you a damn fool. And he was right. He was right, because not being able to lead with the things that are going on, people would rather for me not to say anything about Black politics in Mississippi or anywhere else, especially Mississippi. They don't want you, because they know cousins Ray Ray and Boo Boo, and they know your grandmama, your mama, and all that old stuff in these relationships, and they figure that they can continue to do what they do, and nobody says anything. At least you're not supposed to say anything. And not just that, though, Brother Lee. I want our community and our people to be able to live and to prosper. And I'm not saying that things are not perfect, that they should be perfect or anything like that. But we find a lot of backstabbing and a lot of things because you're not doing people can't control you. They'll do everything, they'll do everything. If they can't control you, they'll lie. They'll do anything that they can to destroy you. And I'm not asking for sympathy or nothing like that. I just had to set the record straight. We've been on 2 years, and people said we wouldn't stay on a month, but we've been on for 2 years. And I come to the point where I know I have to restructure and do some things. A lot of opportunities have flown out the way because I wouldn't play ball. A lot of things have a lot of opportunities have left because they say you talked about Benny Thompson or something. I'll talk about his mama. I don't care who he is, who they are. Okay, Republican or Democrat. Cindy Hyde Smith, same way. Her granny. Okay, she need to go. Okay, but I don't need to lie and tell people certain things or hoodwink people. And then when you bring the truth out, or they want to use you knowing that you got a platform and that people do listen. See, people don't understand. That's the difference between a broadcaster and a podcaster. Podcasters watching them numbers. Because why? That's what they popular. We got to, oh my God, if you click and view, and we making YouTube and everybody else, we making them rich. I go to the standard way, broadcasting, bringing the news and the information that I can. And a lot of people, believe it or not, they are listening. And I'm grateful for everyone that's listening, Brother Lee. And, it just got to that point. Why are we still stabbing each other I'm talking about Black folks too now. We stab each other in the back. If it don't go our way and you're trying to do something and trying to get some things done, man, they just don't seem like I mean, I could ask this question all day, but I want to hear what you got to say right quick. And then I'm gonna step in with you. Brother Lee Mack, our co-host. and our chief commentator of the Magman Morning Show for the last 2 years. He's been right here with me, and I'm not looking for the hand holder. I'm just saying, brother Lee, it's my turn, I guess. And I don't know. I sit here and it just baffles me sometimes. I don't know. I want to be baffled. I want to just move forward and do what I'm doing. But come on in, brother Lee Mack, and speak your heart, speak your mind. We ain't got nothing in particular that we were going at, but you can go ahead, take as much time as you want to, and we're just gonna have a brief discussion. We ain't gonna keep y'all all day, but then we're just gonna talk. And those of you that got to go, we understand it. But those of you that gonna stick around, stick around. Come on, brother Lee, and uh, give your thoughts. I know your brother's been ranting and raging and hollering. I'm not hollering, but sometimes I just went there. I don't know. But come on, brother Lee. Oh, you got to unmute your mic, Lee.
Yeah, I like to say, yeah, with the current events that's happening, I was listening to this, watching a hearing. The politicians were going back and forth with Jubio. They were going back and forth. They were
Rubio.
going
Yeah,
back
old
and forth with
Rubio.
you, Rubio, and asking him some direct questions. He was giving answers that were very vague, if anything, or he lied, and he was not held accountable, and he's not being held accountable. He's the extension of Donald Trump and his group. And the thing is that we talk about this daily about Donald Trump and what's going on in the White House and the legislator and legislative branches and stuff like that, and we still haven't gotten any answers. I mean, I'm wondering yesterday, do we have a strategy as politicians, as Democrats? Do the Democratic Party have a strategy and they're not telling us? That's what I'm giving them the benefit of a doubt, because I surely hope that they do have a strategy, that they don't want to give out the signals about what's going on, what they plan on doing, because what they're doing, as far as I can see, is nothing. A hearing about Rubio violating the Constitution with the ICE, and I was telling someone, I said, well, he clearly is in violation of the Constitution and several other laws. And I said, well, why haven't we taken this to the Supreme Court? Which is the Supreme Court is not ours, which it is biased, but there are channels you go through. And the thing is about that, not only that, um, we can do many things at the same time. We can walk and chew gum. We doesn't have to do this hearing and just that be it. And we bring him Rubio before us, and he explains what he's doing, and he clearly is lying. So I think we got to do more than one thing at the same time. We can walk and chew gum too, but we it's like we're just waiting for something. I don't know if we don't have the time to wait, because people are suffering, and people are being deported, and people are being, and that's the thing, and it's not just the Hispanics, it's not just, it's black folks that's being stopped and removed off the streets, and you never hear from them again. It's things that's being done out here that that I see on social media. You're trying to wonder, is this AI or is this real? You just don't know. It's so outrageous. It's so outrageous that you say, I don't know. Why come they haven't put that on Main Street media so we could see, and everybody else could see what's going on and learn what's. You just don't know. And the things that you do see, they say it's AI. So then you don't take it serious. There were times when you saw something and it was exactly what it was. And now you see something, people dismiss it with saying AI. AI can only do so much.
Yeah.
And the thing is that's the thing we have to go to, and we have to educate ourselves. and we're not. And the thing
Right.
is some of us a lot of us are afraid to speak the truth. And that's the thing. We're afraid to speak the truth. Because Donald Trump is going after a race of people that we don't, an ethnic group that we don't particularly care for, and they shown that they didn't care for us, so we feel that why should we get involved? But there are things that's happening that affect us too. So we have to join this fight reluctantly and get into it before it doesn't make a difference whether we do or not. But it will if we could get into this fight and understand that sitting back and watching is not gonna, like I tell people, if you do nothing, I guarantee you something bad will happen. See, and people thinking, well, I'm not gonna particularly get involved. I guarantee you'll be next. So we have the wrong attitude about doing nothing and hoping nothing will happen. And when it comes to that behavior, it always goes against us. You
Yeah.
know, that's the thing because when we were slaves, enslaved, and captured, and we were held prisoner. That's what it was. And so some of us said we will do nothing. We will wait it out, and guaranteed something bad was happening at the same time we were waiting it out. And I'm gonna tell you, man, it's sad that we don't educate the young ones and the old ones. See, we think education is for the young. Education is for all of us. All of us. We don't know everything. It's not that we don't know everything. We don't know enough. And people thinking, well, that I'm educated. The people that have went to college and in the school and they feel that education is enough. But we have to question where we get this education from. We've been educated by the Caucasians, and we have to question where we get. When it comes from them, we must question. You got to question the source. Man, when people say I'm highly educated, what book did you read? Was the book written by us for us? No, these books were not written by us or for us. Those history books are not written by us and for us. Those medical books are not written by us and for us. See, here's the thing: we have a different, what you call it? This is different physiology about our own bodies. I mean, it's that, and then I'm gonna give you an example. Black folks cannot digest dairy products. That's a fact. And it goes against our whole body chemistry. But your doctor doesn't tell you because he read the books that were for Caucasians. And these are facts. These are the things that I say. These things you can look up. People say it sounds so outrageous. Lee might be just not knowing he's talking. I tell you all the time, look this information up, and you'll find out it's true. Sometimes when I look things up and I learn about them, it just scares the crap out of me because it's when you learn the truth about something. The truth is so because you've been living a lie so long, that truth scares the crap out of you. Because you're used to that lie. It's like being in that movie called The Matrix. Everybody is asleep in the Matrix and they want to go back to sleep. It's time to take that red pill and wake up. It's time to take that red pill and wake up and change your life, even though it may scare you. You want to know the truth about it before it's your time to go. That's what I have to say, my brother. Hello? You there, my brother? Hello? Hello, my brother.
Uh,
Are you there?
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm back. Go ahead, Lee. Keep talking.
Yeah, I was just saying
I'm
how
sorry, y'all.
every day is like yesterday. Nothing has changed. And I think that until we do something about it, until, like I say all the time, when we help the least of us, we help all of us. And that's one of the things that Dr. King used to always say. You know,
Yeah.
when you help the least of us, you
Mm-hmm.
help everybody will rise. And we are selective in the help that we get. And the thing is, they were talking about that in a hearing yesterday with Rubio, I think it was a senator was saying how uh, they took money away from the country of Somalia, and the people are starving. And I'm thinking about that. And you know what I said at first. I said it's a shame that they taken the relief for that with that food away from them when they need it the most. And Rubio was one of the ones who had stood in the way of them getting that relief aid. And I was saying, man, we've been talking about Somalia for decades. And I'm like, yeah, we've been sending them food, and I understand it. But the thing is, we're sending them food rather than teaching them how to grow their own food, and rather than build up their own country, their own infrastructure. See, you keep them dependent when you give them something that only is going to last for a little while, and then we should be teaching these countries and helping these countries grow their own food, grow their own infrastructure, and be able to be self-sufficient. But at the same time, I think you keep a country dependent on you when you don't give them something to feed themselves. Teach them how to fish. Don't give them just fish. Don't give them the fish. Give them the fish, yes, feed them, but teach them how to fish. Give them the resources to fish. And see, and that's the thing that we say, and they're starving people in other parts of the world. Yes, but if we teach them how to and give them the resources to do this themselves, they won't keep looking for someone else to give them something else. And see, that's the thing. And we do it for other countries like Germany. I'm going to give you the example. Germany, when after World War II, like I say, Germany looked like a parking lot. It looked like
Oh yeah.
and they gave them instead of giving them just food, they rebuilt their country. It's like Japan. Japan looked like a parking lot after
Oh
World
yeah.
War II. And they gave them the resources to build that country back. And now it's one of the greatest countries in the world. Same thing for all these other countries. Russia. Russia looked like a parking lot, whether people believe it or not. After World War II, Germany practically brought that country to its knees. And they lost millions of people. But at the same time, they gave them the United States. The United States of America gave them money to rebuild their country. See, that's the thing. They gave them money to rebuild it. We can't even we can't. We won't rebuild these neighborhoods in the black communities, and it takes a fraction of that amount of money you use to rebuild Germany. You could rebuild these neighborhoods in our community. And see,
Yeah.
that's the thing we don't understand. We saying, well, we don't have the tax. Yes, we do have the tax dollars because we put it in the military. We put not billions of dollars into the military. We put trillions of dollars, and I mean
Yeah.
hundreds of trillions of dollars into the military. See, that's the thing about this. We spend, not we, because they do it without our permission. They take money and put it into the military, trillions of dollars. And listen, I'm all for people serving the country. But here's the thing, when you can get a pension in the military, if you're an officer, and it's in the nature of almost six figures, they make six figures in a pension. That's insane. and then they go get another job on top of that. They double dip, sometimes triple dip.
and
So
still keep their
and
still keep their
keep
pension.
that pension, and that's the thing we have to look at. They'll tell you you can't have none, but they got it all. So that's the thing we have to see. And it's sad that we have politicians that have this information. They don't stand up and tell the truth, and that's the
Yeah.
thing. We don't see any politicians that stands up and tells the whole truth, like they say when you testify, and they say tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And we haven't heard the whole truth and nothing but the truth in a long time.
But Lee,
And
I had got to. I want to bring this up too. I didn't want to stop you, but I wanted to bring this up too. You know, here for the last 2 years, uh, we've supported some folks. I guess I have, and you think that you get an opportunity to. I mean, a lot of things. I mean, you've been promised things, and they use you. I've been used, okay, and oh, it ain't gonna happen no more. You got me that time. They gonna give me, and I accept. I accept. I accept it. Not as far as it's going to continue, but I accept that they'll never get another opportunity to do, and it makes you turn cold all of a sudden because you got people, Lee, that are right here that look like you and me that don't give a damn. They don't care. They will walk all over you and everything. Come on, brother Lee. I mean to stop you, but go ahead.
you're right, my brother. And I'm gonna give you an example. Here's the thing, and it's things that we don't know that we think is just outrageous. I give you an example. Here's the thing: you got your slave owners, your slave masters, people who own slaves. When they lost their land in the Civil War, do you know they were given restitution? They were given that reparations. White folks were given reparations right after the Civil War. They were compensated for losing their slaves. They were compensated for losing their crops. They were confiscated. They compensated for this. They were compensated. That's the thing. They got their reparations right away. And they owned slaves. That was a crime that they had did, and they was compensated for that crime that they committed. Instead of them serving time in prison, they were given their property. They were given billions of dollars. Billions of dollars white folks was given. So here's the thing. That's what I'm saying is that the travesty that was done to us, and we talking about reparations. We can't get it after 400 years, but they got theirs in a few months. Right after the Civil War, they were giving their money back. They were giving their crops back. They were giving their slaves back, because I'm gonna tell you how they were giving slaves back. Because they were incarcerated you in jail and made you work for free to serve to serve on the same land that you served as a slave. And if anybody don't believe that, they could please look that up. Those
Yeah.
things that I'm telling you right now, they put that way. You think here's the thing. Why do you think they have prisons today? Prisons were the direct effect of slavery. They created prisons and police so the police could catch us. And then the thing is, they had the prisons put in there so they could make us work for free, like they're doing right now. And we saying, well, a person needs to go to jail. We have served enough jail where we should never go to jail again. See, that's the thing. You've never heard nobody say that, but I'm going to tell you that right now. We have been in prison enough where we should never serve another day in jail again.
Mm.
See,
And people don't know, brother Lee, that the police and what you're saying is true. The slave chasers or the slave catchers that go after the property after they leave and run and everything they had, they were turned into the police force. And you're exactly right again. Look at your relatives and people that are in parchment
And you know the majority of people that are incarcerated are black people.
Yes,
The
yes,
major
that's a very
majority part of the people that are in prison are black people. Why is it? I'm gonna just throw this hypothetical out here to you, Brother Lee. Why is it always us? Why we
because
get that short end of the
because
stick? And then when we wait, and then when we do deal and got a business or got something going, we like crabs in the barrel. I'm gonna use you, and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna do that to you. And we doing it to each other. They won't do it to the white folks, but they do it to each other. Come on, help me out, Lee. Help me out
because
now.
we my brother, we have been conditioned, brainwashed, and we don't realize it. Like I've said before, we can't fix us unless we realize, unless we recognize and acknowledge that we have been brainwashed. And we so stubborn that we say ain't nobody brainwashed us. Yes, they have, because we work under what they want us to do. We have been brainwashed, and we still brainwashed, and I include myself because of the behavior that I have due to the brainwashing over these 400 to 500 years. That's the thing. We got to understand we've been brainwashed. And when you've been brainwashed, you have to be reconditioned after you've been brainwashed. Okay, I give you an example. Anybody can remember, I don't know if anybody can, they have to look this up. If anybody can remember this white woman named Patty Hearst, her father was one of the richest people in this country, if not the
Yeah, back
world.
at the bank robber.
And,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and they ended up getting some brothers and sisters kidnapped that woman, because they represented a organization where they were trying to, get established some it was sort of like the Black Panther Party, and they kidnapped this woman because they robbed a bank and they
Yeah,
kidnapped
more
her.
like a cult.
They
They was
they
like
they
a
they
cult.
they, I wouldn't call it a cult, my brother. I would call it as an organism. See, they call us. See, that's one of the brainwashings that we do, is because when the national media call it something, then we adapt it. We can't always go by what they say, because it was a political party, but it was not a Democratic Party or a Republican Party, but it worked in an organization with the purpose of helping the people and this black folks. Look it up. But the thing is, they kidnapped this white woman. That's the part of the story I want to tell you. They kidnapped this white woman, which she was a daughter of this newspaper tycoon, Hearst, and they kidnapped her. Right? They were looking for her everywhere.
Hmm.
They were looking for her everywhere, and she ended up. They brainwashed her, that's what we call it. They brainwashed. She ended up falling in love with one of the organizers, and she ended up robbing banks too. She fell in love with him. They called it brainwashing, but after she saw how what they were fighting for, she joined that side, and she had a rifle in her hand. They caught it on camera where she was robbing the bank. But when they caught up to her,
You talking about the rich white girl robbing the
the rich
bank?
white girl, they didn't arrest her. They ended up taking her back and killing her, the people that were with her, and she ended up walking the streets the next day.
Oh, she
So
was rich and white.
she was rich and she was white. So, and she robbed a bank, and they had her dead to rights, and they still let her go. She didn't serve a day in jail. So that's what I'm saying. When it's them, it's different. When it's us, it's something else. And that's why I say we got to look at things the way they are, not the way we think they're showing it to us. Because I'm gonna tell you something. In this country, which we call the United States, that's a lie right there. Which we call the land of the free. That's the lie right there. I mean, everything that's written about this country that we think is true is not true. And you know what? It takes a lot of courage. For I've noticed when I go to uh, uh, sports events, and I go to my granddaughter's basketball game and my grandson's football games, and I'm gonna tell you something. They tell you to stand up and put your hand over your heart and take your hat off. you know what? I have the courage, and it takes a lot of courage when you're surrounded by hundreds, if not thousands, of people, not to stand up or not to put your hand over the heart, because this is a country that's been against you. And I've noticed now, I see a few brothers and sisters that don't stand up, they don't put their hand over their heart, they don't look toward that flag, because you know what, it's got to start somewhere where we say, look, I'm against whatever this flag stands for. I'm against it because the flag is against you. This country is against you. You know, that's why the white folks call the police, because the police is for them. They quick to call the police. They quick to say,
And
you
they
know,
quick to say, "I'm gonna call the police
I'm gonna
on
call the police,
you."
because they know the police is usually for them. The police don't even have to ask, let me hear your side of the story. They don't need your side of the story because they already made that up. So that's the thing we gotta look at. This country, this country is our country. We've been here. We more American than these Caucasians that are here. We're more American than they are. They from somewhere else. Listen, we've been here for over we were here when Columbus got here. So we've been here longer than they've been here, and they can tell you, look, this not your country. Go back to your country. My goodness, have you heard something so crazy as
Yeah,
Caucasians telling you to go back to your country, and they from
and you're
over
already
there?
there.
Yeah, we already here. See, that's insane. See, that's why they don't want you to know your history, because they say you don't want to do the blame game. But history is not a blame game. That's the truth. That's the truth. And see, and that's the thing that they don't want you to know about even yourself. And they don't want the young ones, the young Caucasians to know their own history, because I'm gonna tell you something, it's a shameful history when you have castrated and set fire and hung on trees the very people that you saying are evil. And they talking about us.
Yeah.
And when they know their own history, and they should teach the whole history of this country, not just the history of this country, the history of the world. And people don't understand. They think black folks stupid. Well, these very same people that you call stupid invented this internet. They invented all of this stuff, that television and all of these, and the cars and the airplane. We invented all of that. So people don't know this. That's why they think the Wright brothers was the first one to fly a plane. That's a lie. It was a black brother that first invented the airplane. It was a black woman that first invented the computer, the telephone, the cell phone. I could go on, and then I'm thinking, you know, when I looked up everything that black folks have invented, it made me ask the question, what did white folks ever invent?
Mm.
That's what
Or
you
they
gotta
did, or
ask.
did they stole the
That's what I'm
ideas?
saying, my brother.
Yeah.
They have stolen everything. So they have invented nothing. They are thieves. And that's all they do is steal, kill, and rob. And that's what they're good at. And
Mm.
that's what we have to look at. And I tell people all the time, don't believe me. Look it up and get yourself some education. Look these things up in history if you want to truly know about yourself and be able to tell your kids, look, you are better than what they tell you you are. You know,
I wanted to ask you something too. While I got you. Now now earlier this morning, we're going over. Y'all ain't got to worry about. Thank y'all for sticking around. We're gonna be around here for a couple of more minutes. A few, just give us time to do what we're gonna do. What we do. Why, Lee? I've found out as recent as this morning. Uh, Certain things were brought to my attention, and I'm wondering. And I'm talking about here. Let's talk about here because it affects. It's everywhere. Why? And you know, we're against each other. We're not against them, the white community, the white folks, or anybody like that. But we're against our own people to destroy our own people from the media, from entertainment, from business, or whatever the case may be, and we're still trying to find that niche with being subjected to everything that we're subjected to each and every day, man. I mean, what is part of the brainwashing also is a part to destroy ourselves. It's to destroy. I'm gonna hate on you. I don't like what you're doing, so I'm gonna talk about you. I'm gonna destroy what you got because I'm jealous or I'm envious of what you have or whatever the case may be. Is this part of that brainwashing? Is this part of that conditioning, Brother Lee?
Well, it's definitely a part of the conditioning. You read the book Willie Lynch about Willie Lynch. He taught white folks how to deal with black folks, how to turn the black folks against each other, keep them separate, keep them backbiting, keep them against each other, so they can control them. That's the whole thing. Look it up, that book Willie Lynch, and I'm gonna give you an example, my brother. Here's this movie you might have watched called The Woman King. You watch
Hmm.
that movie? Now here's this a perfect example. Like I try to tell the sisters worked with the brothers. We worked together. We were always together. We fought together. We say, well, and this is how the uneducated is. This is how it is, how society is. They say, well, the man led, fought the wars. No, in our country, in that continent of Africa, the women fought right alongside with the men, and that goes back to even the times of the present day, where women will say, black women will say, well, I want to be provided for. I'm gonna tell you something. My mother worked every single day. My grandmother worked every single day. Our grandmother worked every single day.
Hmm.
Our mother worked every single day. In my community, which was a black community back in Chicago in the 60s, every black woman in that community had a job. If anybody's seen that movie called Claudine,
Yeah.
you would see these black women and these black men, they worked every single day. They got up and went to work. And see, and that's the thing. Women say, well, black women, and they say particularly, I want to stop work. I want to be taken care of. I want to be provided for. You know who you provide for? You provide for kids. You provide for children. You don't provide for a grown up. You work together. When a person says, you know what, I'm gonna give you an example here. When somebody said, when a black woman, and I'm not getting on the sisters, but I'm just saying this, when a woman, and I don't like doing this, but I'll give you an example. When a sister say, when you ask a sister, hey, how you doing? What you about? She say, I work every day. I work every day. I go to work. I do that. That's what a grown up does. Don't brag about being an adult. We brag about being an adult. We say, well, I own my own home. I got my own car. I got my own job. Well, that's what an adult is. No, you don't brag about what's expected of you. You don't brag about being an adult. This is the thing you brag about, is being a community, is about helping each other, about lifting each other. That's what you brag at. If you want to brag about something, brag about helping somebody else. But you don't need to do that, because Jesus didn't do it. He just did it. He didn't have to tell everybody that he did X, Y, and Z. And that's the thing. We have to stop bragging about being adults. People brag about being adults every day. I go to work every day. Well, you're supposed to. Well, I feed myself. You're supposed to. Well, I take care of my kids. Just what you're supposed to. And people brag about being adults. That's crazy to me. When somebody gets to bragging about, I feed myself, I clothe myself, I take care of my kids. No, you don't brag about taking care of your kids, but that's what we supposed to do in our country, in that continent of Africa. In these, we did what we were supposed to do, and we didn't brag about it. We don't, and we give that man Bill. We give Bill too much credit, because we always
Mm.
talking about him. We always talking about, I gotta pay Bill. I gotta go see my Bill. I still got Bill. Stop talking about Bill because that's what we're supposed to do. Stop letting Bill control your whole mind every day because everybody's talking about him. Everybody say, well, Bill is due. Bill coming to see me. Bill gonna shut me off. Bill is gonna turn off my lights. We give Bill too much credit. Stop talking about Bill all the time, and because Bill is consuming our life, my brother, and that's what I have to say.
Well, see, and I'm just gonna breathe just a little bit, get us a little water or something. You're listening to the McMahon Morning Show each and every weekday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and that's 10 o'clock on the East Coast. That's right here on Mac Media 3 Productions. Listen, we ain't going nowhere because I started a little late. We still got some time. Y'all hang in there with us. Brother Lee Mack is here with us. We ain't gonna play nothing but a couple of commercials, and we'll be right back. Just right back in a couple seconds.
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know. Get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know. Tune in to the McMahon Morning Show. Hold up. Man, this is one of the hottest talk radio shows this side of the Mississippi. We're talking about the McMahon Morning Show, Mondays through Friday from 9 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. Man, get you some on WKRA 92.7 FM. Man, beat me there. Don't meet me there.
All right, we're back. I try not to answer any messages, any emails while I'm on the air. I can't really concentrate and say, but there's one in particular. I ain't gonna mention the person's name. Oh, they hot. Not at me or anything, but they kind of hot at the situation. And Brother Lee, in a sense, asking us, why do we stab each other in the back? If that's what it said, it does say that. Why do we stab each other in the back as black people? Why do we destroy each other? Why do we destroy we go all out to destroy each other and all out to destroy each other, but never say anything about the other folks that be tearing us down, whooping us, and doing any and everything. I don't know if you can make light of that. I couldn't, but I tried my best. Go ahead, Brother Lee, if you can answer that question.
The thing is, you got to understand this. Now, look at it like this: if you got a crowd of people and you only got one loaf of bread, and you throw that bread down, you're gonna have everybody fighting each other for that loaf of bread. And that's what's happening. They don't throw us a lot of resources. We don't have a lot of opportunities for jobs and businesses and healthcare and housing and everything. See, that's the thing we have to look at. When you give us less, we gonna start fighting each other for it. And that's what we've been doing since the beginning, since we got here. They give us less, and we some of us are strong enough to stand up and straighten out our back and say, look, we're not gonna do that. But then you got the ones that are weak, and it's a lot of weak ones out there that'll backbite, that'll stab each other just to get that loaf of bread, just to get that crumb or that fell off the table. And that's the thing. We don't understand that somebody else, the powers that be, are working against us, getting us to do the things that work against our own self-respect. They're getting us to work against what we are. That's what's happening to us. The brainwashing. We thinking that this is our own mind that's making us do whatever we doing. But no, this is the conditioning that's happened to us. And the ones that know better won't even help us do better. They're working against us too to try to snatch some of those crumbs. And see, that's the thing we got to understand. And you know what? There's not too many people out here that's gonna stand up and tell us this is wrong. And that's the crazy part about it. They're getting their reparations because the government is giving, the white folks is giving a few black folks reparations to control us. It's the educated. What you call
wait, repeat that again, to control us. So folks don't understand that there are people in place and I always talk about straw bosses and stuff like that, but there are people that look just like you and me. That's it's a systematic way of keeping, like I was saying about Mississippi. All right, we for 32 years we've had one representative, and just so happened to be in that Democratic Party, we had one representative for 32 years. And you look at the Delta right now, as you say, a bomb has dropped into it. Not only that, Brother Lee, it seems like it's a click. If you're not clicked into the straw boss, or you're not hooked into certain people, you're not going to be able to get those positions, or you might not be able to benefit. Somebody wants you to kiss their behind because they're getting it from the white folk, and they're the distributors. They hand out what Case in point, I'm gonna say it. On yesterday, it's news, and it was news. I wasn't gonna say nothing about it, but the congressman gave out $1 million, $100,000 to each of his sheriff's departments in his district. He say he gave $1 million, so that was 10,000 times 100,000 is $1 million. So 10 county sheriffs got $100,000 all of a sudden. Now, I'm not just saying that the man don't give, but then and he made them come to Bolton, Mississippi, to, I guess, get the check or to take a picture with him or something like that. And knowing that this person has an opponent, that the congressman got a opponent, a young man that's out there doing what he do now. He might have ideas. He may have the ideas and so forth to do something great for the community, great for the district. And these people are on his back. Now I don't care. And I might make some enemies. There's some people that I know that, and I'm not knocking Mr. Thompson to a degree. I'm not knocking him. Well, I find it very funny that all of a sudden during the primary season now, that you dishing out money like this, $100,000 to the police department. I don't see nothing. He said, well, give them to the sheriff department for equipment and this and that. And I guess the timing was just right because he ain't say it was because of the snow. But I find out that, how when back in Chicago, you got the precinct captains, you need a garbage can. Okay, we'll get you a garbage can as long as you get out there and vote. We'll get you your alley. You get you might even get a little job, or you might get something in return, but you got to give us your vote in order to do it. Help me out, Brother Lee. Why is it that is that a part of what was going on with slavery too? You had that kind of systematic thing going on in the community within the slaves to keep others down. I'm better than you. I'm more educated than you. I'm in this group. I'm in this club, and I'm in this sorority and fraternity, or whatever the case may be. Help me out there, Brother Lee.
Well, here's the thing, brother, is that Mr. Benny Thompson, and I'm gonna tell you right off, he's a house Negro. And people need to look that word up, house Negro. He is a house Negro. He's a coon. And he's a coon because when you can be in office for 32 years and your community looks the way it is, somebody's responsible for that. He says that he's a big time politician, well, then he's responsible for that. So that's the thing. He is a coon. He's a house Negro. He's paying for his support. He's buying his support with our dollars. That's the thing we gotta understand. Where's he getting his money from? He don't own a corporation. He got that money from us. He don't own a business. He got that money from us. See, he stole money from us. He's a thief. He stole the money and he's paying these sheriffs off so they would go and harass this brother that's running for office against him. He's paying these sheriffs or these sheriffs workers off so they can go through the community and tear down those posters and harass the supporters. And that's what he's doing. He's nothing but the devil. He's
Watch
a
out,
black
Lee.
devil.
Watch out
He's
now.
a
You
black
ain't talking
devil.
about, brother. You ain't talking
He's a
about the
black
same man
devil,
that.
and you know what? And I'm not gonna bite my tongue about it. That man should be out of office. He should be tarred and feathered. Somebody should take him and tar and feather him and run him out on a rail like they used to do back then in the day,
But but
because
but then
that's
they
what
get
he's
on.
doing.
They mad at us across Brother Lee. They say he does wonderful work, and the elite of elites in Mississippi says that he's the purest of driven snow. And
Well,
then and you ain't supposed to say nothing against him. You supposed to
I'll
put
say
him in the
something.
regards of Dr. King. And they say if you do that other wait now, they say that if you do, you cutting your head off, and he's got control in committees, and he got seniority and all these other things, and they try to hunt us from trying to say anything. But why don't that young man have an opportunity to run just like old brother Benny did 32 years ago? Go ahead, brother Lee.
Benny's been sucking on a tit of the white man since he got in office. And he's so used to sucking on that tit that he doesn't want to give it up. He's a coon, he's a house Negro, and the thing is, his community looks like trash. And you know what? For somebody to be one of the most powerful politicians in the legislative branch in that building, and for his community to look like that, he should be ashamed of himself. He shouldn't show himself on the street. But you know what? And the things that I've said about him, you can look this stuff up. You want to look at his community? I'm gonna tell you something. Pull it up online and look at the Delta. And if you happy with it, okay, then just keep on doing what you doing. Because if he's proud of his community so much, he need to put it on a ad and show people how his Lambert, Mississippi looks, his Clarksdale, Mississippi looks, his Marks, Mississippi looks, how it looks in the Delta. I could keep going on and on in the Delta. One of the poorest part of the whole country is in that Delta. So, and he's the most powerful politician in the DC. So, what make it like they say, make it make sense. How can you be so powerful and your country and your part of town be so weak? Your part of the country looks so terrible. That's the thing I'm telling people. Make it make sense. You got this man giving hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars to white communities, and because some of these sheriff departments are white communities, he's giving some of them money, and then his you got schools that haven't been fixed up. You got schools that don't have any heat. You got schools that don't have good lunches. You got schools that don't have good programs for the kids to learn. But he's not trying to put money in any trade schools, any educational places, any kind of place so people can do better with life. And housing, you got houses that need to be propped up, streets that need to be paved. You got business that need to be given grants and loans so they can grow, they can start doing something with it. But see, he's not doing anything. I'll tell Ben, if you could get Benny Thompson on the air, I would love to have to sit down and talk to this brother. I
He
would
ain't coming.
I would love to talk to this brother. He's an educated brother, he feels. He's a powerful brother, he feels. I would sit toe to toe with that brother, and I would want him to come and we can have us a conversation. That's what I
So,
have to say, my
so
brother.
brother Lee, why is it that they hate? I'm just going. This is the extended version of the McMahon Morning Show. We going to. We rolling, and I'm grateful to all of y'all. It's got good. My thing is this. Okay, we have been not just. I mean, is he just a symptom of what's going on? And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying anything mean, but as you were saying, brother Lee, we look around in our community where we live at, where our folks are, and just take this snow thing that's going on. I bet you if you go over to Flowood or to Madison, and those places are where people, Caucasians live, their streets are paved and they're plowed. And folks are out there and they got resources out there. They still got people stuck on I-55, and they trying to clear it up this way because they know that merchandise got to come through. But if you go down a little bit further south, they still trying to plow I-55. Go over into the actual towns, brother Lee. And if you go into the town, some of these streets ain't even. I mean, and they got some heavy equipment, and it ain't out there. And it's people that look like us that are leading these towns. Now, I know Brother Benny is federal because all the money comes from the federal government, our taxes and everything they give, what they collect, they give to the states, and the states collect from the stores and the different places and the towns. They do all these things, and they got the resources, and some don't. But then you look around, why these communities don't? Why once thriving communities, good places. When you said you was going to Clarksdale back in the day, you were going somewhere. Why? Because that was where the show and the stores and the commerce was there. But then none of us was running those major commerce. None of us was running the Piggly Wiggy. We didn't have no franchises, no Burger King and no chicken franchises or whatever, and we still don't. There's no black owners of these stores. You know what I'm saying? And then we got other people that come from other countries, Arabia, wherever they're coming from. They sitting here and they getting fat, rich like fat rats in the cheese factory. So, Brother Lee, something must be going on somewhere. Why can't we get our own piece of the pie? Or if our own piece of the pie is being ate up by the one that's serving it? Help me out, Lee.
Well, we must understand history. Here's the thing, and I'm gonna just name a town called Rosewood. I think everybody's familiar with that town, and it was many towns like that scattered over the country, and they were black towns. Exclusively black folks ran that town. They were very prosperous. Like they had towns in Oklahoma and everywhere else, and in St. Louis, I mean in Missouri and Illinois. They had towns like that, black towns that were very prosperous. They saw how isolating us. They thought that would cut us off, it would choke us out, would make us wither away like a bad branch on a tree. But we flourished, we thrived. We were more prosperous than the white towns that were adjacent to us. We were better off than they were. They didn't like that. But see, here's the thing. They know what happens when we give them just a little bit of what's ours. Not giving a handout, giving what's ours. We will thrive. They are afraid that they know more about our history than we do. They know more about what we're capable of than we do. So that's why the government pays these black coons to keep us down, to keep us in this way. Like Benny Thompson, he's a cancer. He's a cancer on the backs of our community. He's a cancer. That's why you see a neighborhood can look like it does for decades, for over a century. I mean, for over a century, you could see a community look this way for almost a century. And there's a reason why. It's a reason why it's by design. And see, when you got your people that look like you, helping Caucasians keep us in a certain way. That's why he's a house Negro. He's an overseer. They're giving him reparations to keep us down. That man drives a very nice automobile. I bet money on that. I bet he has a nice suits in his closet. I bet money on that. I bet his family eats at nice restaurants. I bet money on that. So you paying him to keep us down. This brother Benny Thompson, make sure you write his name down. Those who not familiar with him, and look up. He's responsible for the Mississippi Delta. He's a cancer. He is one of the main reasons why that community looks the way it does. He's solely responsible. But why would you give him your vote term after term, election after election, for doing nothing but tearing down your community, for putting us behind bars, of making sure that we are not educated, we're ignorant, we can't get work. So what you gonna do if you can't get no job? You gonna stick somebody up. If you gonna starve, they gonna before they starve and not take care of their family, they gonna go out there and rob and do whatever they gotta do. And he keeping our community in this way. Not just the community, we gotta understand this man is responsible not just for the Delta. He's so powerful. He's responsible for the black communities in these United States. Don't just isolate him to the responsibility of the Delta. He's responsible for your community, your black community looking the way it does in Chicago and St. Louis and in LA and New York and California and Florida and New Orleans. He's responsible for all of these black communities looking the way they do. If you want to stop our community from bleeding like this, we got to not put him in office again. That's what I have to say, my brother.
And you're not being mean about the situation either. I
Yeah,
mean, my thing
I
is,
can be angry, brother. You can be angry and be sick and tired. You can be sick.
yeah,
It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be malicious. It's okay to be, I'm tired and I don't want to take it anymore. I don't have to apologize for not liking this man because what he's doing to my community.
yeah. And you said something that I was listening to you. I mean, how many times have and I've said this quite a bit. Wait a minute, hold on a second. I've said this quite a bit. We're sick and tired of being sick and tired. The woman said so. Now I was looking at this, and for so long, Brother Lee, we like you say, we have been like almost dang on near at the bottom of everything. Okay. And how can I put this? Man, it is just really wild to me that we sit there and there's a group of people that actually just say, okay, it's like you can do what you want to do to us, and I'll believe anything that you say. And you got to be right because you marched with this person and you protested here and you was the first XYZ here and you were doing this, and then yet and still and all they get on you because they're saying, well, we don't want you to talk about him. He's off limits. We can talk about the white folks, but don't talk about Benny Thompson. Don't talk about people that are like him. I talk and people that are holding seats. Listen, in Chicago, Danny K. Davis, he about 90 right now. Been in there probably longer than Benny has been up in office. He was an alderman. Remember back in the Harold Washington days,
I
Lee?
know
He
him.
was an
I
alderman,
know him.
and now he got a stick hobbling. And he's finally retiring. He's got enough that he has retired, and now he's going to pass it on to another straw boss. Okay, they don't want any. They don't. And another thing is, with the vice president, when the vice president came, the Miss Kamala Harris came to Jackson, Mississippi. Those people that are seeking our vote wasn't even there just to say I support her. Matter of fact, when we brought out the issue of this man voting against the nominee, the vice president, she was just so happened to be the nominee. She was the vice president. He voted for Trump. This is Benny's boy. Somebody said that he didn't endorse him. Yes, he did. I was there in Marks, Mississippi, when the man said, this is my choice for United States Senator, Mr. Colomb. I'm sitting there looking at him. And then they say, you go against what Benny, I guess he's the anointed one, because you go against Benny, you ain't supposed to go against Benny. Okay, because why? He's the head Democrat. Help me out, Brother Lee. What's the deal with that?
Well, the thing is that Benny Thompson says one thing and he does something else. And see, that's the thing what we're looking at here. This brother's in Donald. Okay, I'll give you an example. Donald Trump once said when he was running the first time, you know what he said? What do you have to lose? Now, you look at today and you see what you're losing. See, that's the thing. He said, what do you have to lose? Vote for me. What else do you have to lose? And now he's telling you you can lose your freedom. You can lose your self-respect because he's taking it from you. Everything that you think that you didn't have to lose, he's taking it from you. Just like Benny Thompson, he's helping him take it from you. You know, that's the thing that we look at. That's why Donald Trump hasn't touched Benny Thompson. He doesn't say anything bad about Benny Thompson because Benny Thompson is sitting in his pocket. He's in Donald Trump's pocket. You know, he'll tell you to vote for Donald Trump's guys. And that's why his cronies, Benny Thompson's cronies, were voting against Kamala Harris, was voting against Kamala Harris, was working against Kamala Harris. You know, that's why the Democratic Party, when it came down to here,
They
man,
sure will.
it's not supporting the people that are for the people. And that's the thing. We gotta say enough is enough. 32 years and we still kissing this man's ass and he's not doing anything for us. And people are saying, how dare you talk about Benny Thompson? Well, I'm gonna tell you something. When it's not working for you, it must be working against you. And it's time to say enough is enough. It's been time. And you know what? To live a long life and you see things having changed in your community for the better, it's time to stand up before it's time for you to leave. Because it's gonna be time for everybody to go. Because we all gotta go. But here's the thing, you wanna leave this country better than what it was when you was here, you know, when you came here. And that's the thing. You want to make sure your kids and your grandkids and and people that look like you have it better when it's your time to go. You don't want to leave this country the way it is when you came in. You want to leave it better off when you get ready when it's your time to go. And the thing is, Benny Thompson and Danny Davis, and I'm gonna tell you something. Danny Davis is a congressman of Chicago. And I know this brother very well. I sat down and talked to this brother for some time. And my brothers and my other brothers, they knew him very well. We're close friends with this cat. And he was holding that office for at least half a century and several other offices before that. And you can look at his west side of town, which he's responsible for, and it looks worse than it did when he got there.
Sure is.
And I know that brother very well. I sat down at his office and we had us a nice conversation some years ago. And I'm gonna tell you something. I considered him a friend of mine, but I'm gonna tell you something. If my friends are working against me, they're not working for me. They're not my friends. And that's the thing. And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not loyal to somebody who's not loyal to me and not
Right.
loyal to my people, not loyal to my district, not loyal to my country, not loyal to the people that look like us. See, that's the thing. I can break
That's
off
what
a
I'm talking about.
friendship. I can break off a friendship if you're not for your own people. I'm not gonna go down with you just because we had a sandwich together, just because we ate dinner together, just because we told a few jokes, or just because you might have tried to put some money in my pocket. I'm not gonna go for that because you're not my friend. My vote cannot be bought. You know, my
Mm.
loyalty cannot be bought. And that's the thing. People, we too cheap with we too quick to somebody can buy our loyalty so easily. And that's the thing. Don't let nobody buy you for some few, like they say in the Bible, for some silver coins, for a few pieces of silver. And that's the thing. Danny Davis been paid off with a few pieces of silver. He has sold his soul. He doesn't have a soul. That man sold it a long time ago for a few pieces of silver. Just like Jesse Jackson, he sold his soul for few pieces of silver. I can say that about him too. I know this brother. I've talked to him. I spoke with him. I've shaken his hand. But I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not loyal to somebody who's not loyal to his community, not loyal to his people. And that's one thing I'm not afraid to say it. That these brothers are coons. These brothers are cancer on our backs of our communities, and we have to stand up and say something. We have to say something against this, you know, because that's the thing. If we just keep laying down for this, if we listen to this nonsense and go along with it, we'll fall for anything. That's what I have to say, my brother.
You're listening to the Magman Morning Show each and every weekday morning at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. That's 10 o'clock on the East Coast right here on Mag Media 3. Also on Hot Talk Radio and television, our new broadcast network that we have. I want to thank you for all of you all for being here. And I want you to think about trying to destroy each other. I know it might not happen. I know it might, and maybe it may, but I don't know. But somebody's got to stand up and cry
cry loud and tell the truth. I don't hate anybody. None of us hate anybody, but the way that we've been treated, and you better look at this. What they're portraying out there is not the truth, folks. And if you can be hoodwinked once and not realize it, believe me, you can be hoodwinked again until you come and realize what you're dealing with. I had to have an epiphany. Everybody should. It's okay. But take what you have learned and don't sell it. If it's your one vote, keep it. Vote for who you want to vote for. Make them earn that vote. Okay. Are we going and the systematic way that people have tried to hold on to power and hold on until that coffin and that hearse comes? That's how long they want to stay in power. It's something about power. Somebody else told me something that's about, they say love is Money. It's money and power. As long as there's money, people say that there's power. Is it real power? That's what I'm going to leave you all with. I'm not fussing with you or nothing like that. We'll be right back here tomorrow with another great broadcast that we're going to be coming. Think, folks. Please think. Please think. Please use that God has ordained and gave to you, not to fall for I don't care how many medals they pin on you or how many accolades that they give you, or what social clubs, and we even got segregation now with our clubs and our organizations and this and that. And if you're not a part of this, if you ain't got your sequins dress on and your high heels and stepping out and got your top hats or whatever the case may be, and going out and being amongst the upper echelon, or don't get with the white folks and party with them too. We really think we in high cotton then. I'm not saying that as being somebody against anything, but folks, in order for us to, what about the people on the outside? What about the people that go to work and the people that are the as they call us, the blue collars? They're giving collars and putting us in boxes and everything. And we don't need to be there. I'm going to stand up for that. That's right. I will support those candidates that I feel that they need to. And then those of you that I don't, you got a right. You can come on here. I'm nonpartisan. I don't have an allegiance to no Democrats or Republican parties. I don't have no allegiance to it. My allegiance is to my people and to the folks, to the people. What about the people that got to live and wake up each and every day in the same poverty that they sit there, and we never get a break? We never can enjoy none of this good stuff that they got. It's just like being a servant and hungry and watching people eat, and they'll feed their dog under the table before they give it to you. That's what they try to treat us like. They'll treat their animals. Some folks treat their animals better than they treat people. I'm done with that. I ain't going to go there. I'm just going to say what I had to say. I'm through. This is the Mac Man Morning Show. We'll be back here on tomorrow. I'd like to thank Brother Lee Mack. I really appreciate you, brother, each and every day. Each and every day that you come and you bring it, and you bring it hard. And I think I'm grateful to you that you stand with us each and every day. It's not an easy thing, and we're just trying our best. All we're trying to do is, folks, don't, the okie doke we've been falling for forever. And they're doing it with your relationships with people. They want you to see, they don't want to do it. They'll put you up to tear down somebody. Don't be their puppet. Don't be the puppet for them. And don't think that you're going to get any other benefit than other what you're getting. We got to make our own breaks. I want to thank everybody for being here. We're going to get out of here. Thank y'all for being here. That's not fussing. It's just real talk. Y'all keep your eyes on things, and we're going to continue to inform you each and every day, news and information and inspiration right here on the Mac Man Show. We thank you very much. Y'all be good. Enjoy your day. Be blessed. Be good to somebody. I ain't got an affirmation today. Just be good to each other. Let's stay alive and survive.
It's the Mac Man Morning Show. 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 Sitting at home when you're in your car. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. No matter Main Morning Show.